Hello, my name is Marielle. Welcome back to another one of my movie reviews. 111 years ago, Titanic set sail on her maiden voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. Only, it struck an iceberg and sank. I have been a Titanic fanatic since I was a kid. I have collected every book, movie, and artifact like this necklace with a real piece of coal from the wreck of the Titanic. To honor all the lives lost, I'm going to review A Night to Remember. Based on the book by Walter Lord, A Night to Remember is a 1958 film that recounts the tragic night of when the Titanic struck the iceberg. Passengers and the ship's crew struggle to save everyone's lives as the ship disappears into the Atlantic Ocean. A Night to Remember unfolds every minute detail on the evening of the sinking. In contrast to other Titanic films, this film only focuses on the actual passengers and the night of the sinking. Paying focus to the great ship, this film contains a mixture of stories from people who deserve recognition. Numerous actors dictate powerful performances in their portrayals of survivors, victims, or a hero from that fateful night. The story splits between several passengers of different classes. The first 10 minutes of the film takes its time to get to know the passengers. A Night to Remember pays close attention to Second Officer Charles Lightoller and his actions from that night. Kenneth More did a wonderful job, particularly with special advice from the son and widow of the real Charles Lightoller. Captain Edward John Smith will always be a hero. Lawrence Naismith's performance was all about his terror-stricken expressions and bravery to command a night of stress. I also really enjoyed Tucker McGuire's performance as the unsinkable Molly Brown. She added a touch of comedy to the picture. Speaking of comedy, George Rose, who portrayed Chief Baker Charles Jughin, was so fun to watch. Drinking alcohol helped save his life. Watching him drunkenly able to stand upright on a slanted deck as he stares confused was a funny picture in midst of the danger. Due to the deep melancholic tone, Titanic films need some comedic undertone to give viewers a break from the sad story. Titanic is an overwhelming topic of discussion. Director Roy Ward Baker gave audiences a film that helps understand what this night was like. No scenes are forced. However, there has been controversy surrounding the Californian, a ship that was 10 miles away during the sinking of the Titanic. The ruthless actions of the Californian crew was overdone, and I think it was wrong to portray the ship's crew as careless. Stanley Lord, who was the captain of the Californian at the time, spoke out against the film's portrayal. Full-scale or miniature models were used for the ship. Due to dipping the set higher and higher, those creaking noises that you hear were from the actual set. I'm glad that the director kept them in. It made the film genuine. In fact, actual survivors from the Titanic were invited to the set. They were overcome with emotion. 111 years later, there are no Titanic survivors left. This story is all based on eyewitness accounts. We all have a different interpretation about what happened that night. Stories like these cannot be bottled up. The subject of the Titanic has implored minds of many generations. Remember to take the time to recall all the lives that were lost, honor the officers and engineers who worked until the very end, and be thankful for the heroes. Titanic still lies at the bottom of the ocean floor, that no ship is unsinkable. Titanic will forever live on in history as long as we keep telling stories. Rest in peace, Titanic. What's a Titanic story that you have? How has the Titanic impacted you? Coming up next, I will be talking about Maybe I Do, a film that could have had better direction with its story. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel or to my Patreon. My name is Marielle, and this has been another one of my movie reviews.